Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Pathfinder Kingmaker. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you chose to join me today in our kingdom, because now I am a queen. Does that change it to queendom? I've heard of the word queendom, but I don't know that that is the correct one. Everything is ready for the coronation. No, that is not a problem, and also it is succeeded. Gilladel has become the queen of the Stolen Lands, for +3 to every one of those, which is very nice. Also... things are happening. So, I need Cirrus. Well, actually, I want that for something else. There's new projects. Independence. What do you mean independence? You choose to be independent. Sorry, you chose to be independent of any Brevan faction, and turned your lands into one of the truly free river kingdoms. The effect is increased loyalty by 10 and espionage by 5, and also provides 3 build points per week for each espionage rank above 8. You are out of your mind if you think I think these were supposed to be done way later though, in the time in this timing basically. Choose an advisor to handle this event. Why do you mean there's an advisor? Valerie can do it. It costs a bunch of money, but I have enough, I think. Oh yeah, we have plenty. So Valerie strives to follow the letter of the law, my law. So that sounds good. What do we have over here? Border guards. Reinforce your border with special perimeter guard unit for +1 military instability for each region. That could be a job for Rigongar. Because we are going to need Cirrus. Let's see. Strong nation. Oh, wait, what? So that's a support to the thing. The cost of buildings... So that costs a bunch of... No, it doesn't. Cost of buildings with static community bonuses goes up. Or goes down, rather. That's not too bad. 75 for that. It's pretty decent. And support the region's endeavors. Yeah, we're going to need to support some region's endeavors, but that's fine. So the idea here is to send a Rigongar here. Because Ceres has a lower, or has a higher thing. But the stuff is, we are going to need to claim... Oh. It's a rim. How long until a rim is done? 67 days, yeah. Because we're going to need to claim this region, so that's why we're taking Ceres over there. And it's only going to be 15 days, so I suppose that's good enough. The problem is, I want to wait a day until that's done. And so we can... I'm not really sure what she's going to do. Eureka ends in 1 day. Let's do that. I don't think she can do anything up here. Let's just keep an eye on that. She can't do anything there, but there might be a project or something. Trade agreement? Nope. Agreement with nope. Strengthen Jods, strengthen support treasure, support high priestess, support storytell, support curator's endeavors, support the warden's endeavors. Trade agreement with Galt. No, that's the dumb one that I don't want. A research. Oh, that's the one. And this is gonna take a little while, so yeah, we're definitely waiting a day. I'm also saving, and I'm skipping the day there. And we have a bunch of events. One of the, well, a bunch of notifications anyway. The Eureka over here, there's a local mage. The advisor's servants came to an agreement with the mage. His discovery now belongs to the local mages, and they are studying it with great interest for a bunch of arcane, which is really nice. Our trade taxes failed. Ah, well. And we have more things up there. So, the research doesn't show? It doesn't update, does it? I think it doesn't update. Research into the... Maybe it does. No, it doesn't. You see how that there's an X thing there? Yeah, it's a lie. So this costs a little bit of money. It takes a long time. I'll just go ahead and do that. I did a bad thing, though. And this is why I save. The bad thing I did is waiting... well, actually, now it's going to be a bummer, because if she fails, I'm going to be upset. No, the bad thing, obviously, was to not put these at work. And now I can skip a day, and hopefully we succeed. Triumph. Is it the same? Yeah. And there's a failure. Good. And then we have... Not the trade agreement, this one, so I can commit money to that. What else do we have? We have new things over here. Counselor awaits in the throne room. General requests an audience. And Magister asks for an audience. Everybody wants to speak with the queen. I mean, can't blame them, really, but yeah, we're gonna spend the next couple of weeks over there doing that. Let's maybe we're not. Nah, we probably are, because these guys want something. I think there is probably gonna be support, as usually is. They have some story about we need our stats to go up. Octavia is here. I have news. More and more mages come to our capital every day, and it seems a small mage quarter is forming around the artifact appraiser. There's new bookshops, new alchemy labs, and now we even have an illusionist's parlor. That woman can conjure up more dresses and makeup and hairstyles than you could imagine. Perfect for an evening out. Just remember to get back home before the spell wears off. Oh, however, there's a darker side to this expansion. The necromancer from Geb is looking to set up shop in our domain, your domain. He wishes to raise undead servants and rent them out as cheap labor. In his homeland, skeletons till the fields, cut down trees, and mine ore. While elsewhere around the world, necromancy is strictly forbidden, for in order to animate a dead body, one must sniff off a small fragment of the soul that once resided within it. Thank you, game, for explaining how that works. That's actually very important. I'm currently playing Oblivion, and there's this whole quest line about necromancy, and the game never explains why necromancy was outlawed, why some people like it, or why it doesn't. It just comes across as people just not liking gross stuff. But there's this one line that somebody says, which is not like canonical. It's not the canonical explanation of why necromancy is outlawed, but it is the canonical explanation why some people think it's evil. And so you talk to this, it's a mage that you talk to in Oblivion, and you talk to the mage about necromancy, and that mage is a destruction magic, so fireballs, the electrocution, and all that sort of stuff. And the justification about necromancy is it about necromancy? I think it is. The justification is how we shouldn't do that to people. How we shouldn't raise people back from the dead because it's evil. And you're a mage that literally throws fireballs at people. So, yeah. But anyway, the point is, it's a flimsy justification in that sense because of who is claiming it. Of course, if you were gonna say you shouldn't do that to people as necromancy, which I'm probably gonna say, by the way, in this game, if you're gonna say necromancy, you shouldn't do that to people or to people's bodies, even if there's no soul in there. You can do that for sure. But it does also it does buttress your point if your line of work doesn't involve doing things like that to people. Anyway, our guest asks for a license. I didn't know we had a license system. Hopefully, can we abolish the license system and just let me know when there's necromancers? I'll go there and steal all their stuff and kill them or something. In return, he promised to supply us with a fresh batch of workers, she says, doing air quotes. Just thinking about it makes me sick. He vows only to use those who sign a contract while they're still alive, selling their own bodies away for a few... It's not their bodies, also. It's their soul. That's the problem. I mean, it is their bodies, but still. Selling their own bodies away for a few gold coins. However, I have little doubt that this will lead to all sorts of trouble. Yes, it also will prey on the poor, which is the problem, if on the face of it, immediately. First, enterprising citizens will buy shovels and develop the habit of paying nightly visits to the graveyard. How is it gonna do that? We're not allowing... by the way, she says, I missed that, and I do apologize. Necromancy is strictly forbidden. She says specifically around the world, and not here. If it is not strictly forbidden, or forbidden at all, how are enterprising citizens not already buying shovels and developing the habit of paying nightly visits to the graveyard as it is? Because it isn't strictly forbidden? And if it is forbidden, we're not discussing allowing it, unless we are, in which case her line is not for that. We're just saying that this person is going to have a license specifically, which is as control as it gets. But still, and if you were to buy... I mean, there's also... The point is, it has a license to do with the skeletons that have, with the people that have the contract, and not with just people who were dug up from the cemetery. So, paying a habit of nightly visit, then beggars and orphans will start disappearing from the streets. They all... Also, yeah, beggars already will have to be preyed upon like that. Yeah, for sure. No, Gilladel, we cannot allow this to happen. Yeah, you make good arguments insofar as the ones that you make are indeed good, but you miss the greater point, I would say. So, I forbid this necromancer from practicing his dark arts in my realm. His offer sounds promising. Yeah, I forbid this dark... Yeah, let's go to the first one. Wonderful! I hope this vulture will leave the capital for good, as soon as I deliver him the news. And we lost Arcane, which makes sense. We also gained Divine, which also makes sense, because Divine is anti... Divine magic usually is good against undead. And I gained Hiccups, as you might have heard, as I said some of those things. We also gained Community and Loyalty. Sure. Sounds about right. Jod, maybe? No. Tsana. I was going to say Tsana, and then I thought she was going to have long hair. She doesn't have long hair. Gilladel, I require your judgment on a sensitive matter. The vessels of river... No, sorry. The vessels of river travelers have entered your frontiers. You mean the ships. The vessels. Also, yeah, that's another word. I know what you mean. Sorry. They sell cheap goods for nearly nothing. And, of course, they pay no taxes. Why do you mean... What do you mean, of course? If there's going to be taxes, it's going to be on levies for goods that come in here. What do you... And also, I didn't know we had taxes. We shouldn't. But... Because, you know, chaotic. Well, they sell cheap goods for nearly nothing, she says, and doesn't mention the taxes, because otherwise it's going to get confusing. But your moneybags merchants hate competition. They're assembling a squad of boats to hunt the travelers down, sink their boats, and drive them from your lands. It's simple greed that drives them, but they're on the right track, says Tsana. She's a very complicated character here. They're on the right track to hunt people down? Why? What are they? What are these cheap goods? Are they like like magic stuff that is like, oh, look at this table that I have over here. It's barely a penny. But then you buy it and then you arrive at home and it's a bad table or something. Is that the implication here? Why would they bother with that? Most of the price you're going to pay is for the transportation and defense, quite clearly, because no, they haven't done it yet, but there is going to always be, you know, pirates and whatnot. My suggestion is to stay out of this, says Tsana. The river travelers are a hardy, teeming people, much like termites. That's gross. Please don't compare people to insects. They please Lamashtu, and we shouldn't trouble them unless we must. If the merchants decide to strike at them, we should order the guards not to interfere. The waters will run red with blood, and the river people will call upon their relatives from neighboring lands, and together they'll show the traders what they're made of. Those who are strong will remain to seek their fortune in our lands, and we will profit no matter the outcome. Will we? Without, of course, taxes. She didn't say that, but she did, and I must... Well, how will we profit? I mean, there's an implication here that, you know, cheap goods is good, because... like, that's immediately the first one. Like, for our own benefit, we don't know where they came from, these cheap goods. Let's say that they're slave work, for example. A good way to make... I say good, you know what I mean, though. A straightforward enough way... Well, straightforward is also not necessarily the case. Slavery is very complicated, and it requires a lot of institutional oversight and whatnot. It's kind of complicated. The point is... How do you make cheap goods? Exploitation. Either because you stole them, or because somebody else made them for you, and you just stole them. Or, quote, stole them, or, quote, paid for them very cheaply, which is basically the same. Or not paid for them at all, and it's slavery. So, for us, these cheap goods are good, because we're benefiting from the exploitation of somebody else. Whoever it is. It probably isn't the merchants that are bringing the cheap goods over here. So maybe the profit comes from there. But when you say profit, this game in particular uses that word to denote capital profit, and as in money, as in currency and gold pieces. So we are not gonna get that. We are literally... This is the opposite of that. This is the increment of our trade deficit to, because we're buying things from outside, to profit just from a standpoint of us not having to spend time making cheap stuff. It's very easy to understand, Sana. I'm sure you just didn't think about it before you talked. Unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna have an option that is sensible, because it's weird. It's a weird setup. It's a long setup as well. Look at that. Let's see. Let the merchants know that their efforts are not required. If they touch any vessels that isn't theirs, we will have to resort to force. Right. Okay, I understand. The merchants here, not to travelers. The distinction is tenuous. Our merchants. Let our merchants know that to not attack. Please don't attack. Let our merchants and their mercenaries do as they will. That's the staying out of it. What does that do? Increases economy and stability. This increases community and loyalty. And tell the guards to stay away from the dispute. The stronger will have the right to trading on the river. Hiccup, I'm sorry. You know what? Yeah, let the merchants know that their efforts are not required. If they touch any vessels that isn't theirs, we'll have to resort to force. But it's the... Sana? But it's the merchants that pay you, not the travelers, she says. Yes, they are indeed the ones that pay me, apparently. I will still not allow them to commit murder on my lands for no reason, apart from their own greed, apparently. Don't appeal to my own greed to allow other people's greed to... Shut up. They will make better chairs, or hammers, or whatever they make. Do you punish those who submit? Do you protect those who deny... I must point out that I didn't lose anything. Protect those who deny you respect. This is a strange decision, Giladel. Your face is strange, Sana. Get out of my face. Who is beautiful? Which is beautiful? The face. Not who. Which is the word. And we have... what's his name? Oh, Sirius, of course. Your advisor has arrived to report about the recent military, but doesn't have lines because Sirius is made up. Yes. Minus... Wait, what? Military development. New event. We lost minus loyalty and minus stability, but it increased military. Defenders of the Land 2, the revenge, support the general's endeavors. Oh, probably because we're increasing military, and that is what happened. That's what happened there. Because of our increasing military, we lost stability and loyalty, apparently. I just need to start a campaign of nationalistic pride or something like that. What's the word? There's a word for it, for what I'm trying to say. Not nationalistic. There's a word. There's like the perfect word for it. So you know, like sort of that patriotism, pride that you, if you start a campaign for that, people looking like, ha, where the what is our kingdom? Freedom above all. I don't know. We're also worried right now. That's bad news. Magister asks for an audience. Done. Counselor waits in the throne room. Done. General requests an audience. Done as well. Also increased military. Why are we worried right now? Talented recruits. Transition to power, espionage. The Grand Diplomat is assisting the Minister in matters of espionage, crime fighters, diplomatic, alchemical, divine protection, land defenders, laying the foundation. Are we still in that? That is what happened right there. Kingdom subjects are questioning. You receive a -1 to all kingdom checks. That's kind of a bad thing. Unrest changed from stable to worried. Negative current... Wait, what? No, that's old. Yeah. Quest. Decisions while governing the country. Right now. Sure. Yeah, it's just how it is. And we have some new things over here. Arcane Lobby. We need to construct these things. Sure. I mean, we can't, but we will. Support the Magister's endeavors. The Helping Hand provides a counselor a +2 when resolving situations. That's for Tsana. Tsana is already amazing. Support the counselor's endeavors. That's for Tsana as well. Defenders of Land number 2, +1 morale bonus to attack and damage rolls while fighting. Oh, it's for Sirius. Sirius is going to be busy for the next little bit. And I also need to support his endeavors. Interesting. Okay, let's save the game there, and let's... It costs a little bit, but I can get more money, I think. Proceed with seizing a territory. Yes, I really do want to upgrade my town, though. That is something that I wish I could do. Claim Glenebon. Declare Glenebon as part of your kingdom, which is good, because we still need to explore it a lot, so we're going to have plenty of... That's a big area. I didn't know it went that far. Yes. So we got Gnarl Keep over there. And we have Tuskdale. Right. That's not what I wanted, though. I wanted to make sure... Gambling Steps is an area. And Varnhold. Yeah, I got all the cities founded. I did not realize that Varnhold has been made mine, though. Or did I? There's a lot of things in here. We'll need to buy more build points. I'll worry about that in a little bit. But we are going to spend a lot of money in... we're going to spend a lot of money in our building, most likely. Livestock is mysteriously dying off. But the success of our counselor... is good, because ordered all the sick livestock slaughtered and their remains burned to ash. These stern measures seem to have choked the pestilence off with +3 loyalty. Happy birthday to you, Queen! The Queen's birthday is a special date for a young nation. I ramble about this, and I gained 100 build points. The celebrations were spectacular. Everyone participated in the revelries, from the peasants to the Queen's entourage. And wind in the sails, a triumph over there. We lost a bunch of money, though. Yeah, we did. Let's see. The Grand Diplomat signed a contract with the Sea King, purchasing 5 fast trade ships and a heavy warship. This has generated much enthusiasm among the capital's merchant classes for military, economy, and relations. That's pretty good. I think we're getting to a point where I want to specialize. Like in these two, maybe? I don't know. The joys of life. Strange hedonistic teachings. And, Jethal went over there and agreed with everything, maybe. The minister's agents found that a demonic cult was secretly behind the hedonistic teachings. The cult leader was tracked down and arrested by Jethal. Sure. For sure. Lost dwarven knowledge. Aha, but a success. We found a unique dwarven engineering treatise that should help greatly in the restoration of dwarven buildings. That sounds good. And we're just succeeding at everything. Restoration of the... I did spend a lot of crisis points on these. Restoration of the Silver Shield Fortress. You have made progress in the restoration work. A region upgrade featuring this fortress is now available. That's interesting. Where is this? Long ago, the abandoned keep was a glorious... Yeah, it's to the south. Silver Shield Forest. Sorry, Fortress. It should be... It's either over here. I think it's over here. In the Gnarl Keeps. It's probably also the upgrade is up here. So we have some events. So we have the Sea Dragons, which I do want to look after. 61% is really bad. So I want this. Sea Dragons, followers of Abadar who guard this ship, are planning a raid on the River Kingdoms. I do want to protect the people. A sign from above. The locals could use a reminder of the greatness and power of the gods. Oh, not this nonsense again. And I have river gold. Some locals found gold while panning along the river's sandy banks. However, this part of the waterway is actively used to transport trade goods. Maybe they just dropped. So Canara, got dropped by things. Canara can go in there. And it's not a very important one, I don't think. What is this? Aggressive expansion. Allows for faster region claims and upgrades, reducing the time required by half. It does cost a little bit of money. What do you mean upgrades, though? Maybe I can do that. It costs a little bit of money. I don't like it. But we're not really doing anything. And Lindsay barely ever does anything, so I suppose I could do that. Yeah, let's... Then there's no check or anything, so Lindsay probably is gonna do that, but we're gonna look at our things slowly. Okay. So, let's look. We have trade agreements. These two first ones I don't like, because they cost a lot of money. And then I can... skills. These are for skills. These are the treasurer's endeavors economy. That might be a good idea. But Kenara is busy at the moment. We're going to do that most likely. We're going to support somebody's endeavors. The High Priest for Divine. Actually, that isn't necessarily a bad idea. He could strengthen the skills. Curator's endeavors. For culture. I could do that. That's an interesting thing. The Warden's endeavors for stability. No. Oh, Ragongar is busy right now. So yeah, we could do that. Trade agreement with Galt. No, that's the one that I don't like, is it? The worse the unrest, the more BP, the... Yeah, that's an interesting one, but it just costs so much money. It's unbelievable. 200 weeks of unrest to pay off. No, just no. Strong nation. The cost of building the community things. Okay, it's Valerie. And support the region's endeavors for community. Valerie is busy. Research into the nature of curses for Harim. Arcane Lobby is for Octavia. And we have Octavia being... The Helping Hand provides a counselor a +2 bonus when solving a situation. Sana is not busy at the moment, and that does cost money. We should be able to get some money, though. Support the counselor's endeavors. This is for loyalty, so honestly, I want that instead of this. Which does mean that the other counselor that I was going to do something with is... Support the general's endeavors. Is this the one? Yeah. And aggressive expansion. So we have a lot of stuff. There was another support, though, that I was maybe going to do. Yeah, it's you. You're not busy with anything. So, that's pretty good. It's quite curious, in fact. I'll save the game here, because I don't know what happens when we leave like this. So what we'll do, middle click is what we need. What we'll do is we'll go to the center of town to sell things. Unless there's a trader in here, there usually isn't. I mean, I killed the trader. I don't remember who it was. It was an advisor. So yeah, it's funny to think this game is really long, right? It's a really long game, really long-winded dialogues and all that. It's funny to think that there were dialogues that I would have had and I didn't. Because I killed 2 specific companions that could have been, well, definitely were companions, but they were jerks, so I murdered them. And the game just lets me do that for... The game seems eager to let me do that. It's not even that it lets me do it. Thank you, game, for letting me do it, but it's just, like, super eager to do that. Price descending, so we have the things, and then we have these that we don't need. And they're gonna be very nice. And then we have medium breastplate +2. Full plate +1, and then these are hide armors, and they don't matter as much. And then we have natural armor +1. Those don't matter. Expert's hat is actually not a bad thing. Inspired wisdom, sure. Natural armor +2. Do we have natural armor +3? We do, so that's junk. Agile fists, mighty fists goes. Inspired wisdom. Do we have better inspired wisdom? Yes, we do. Go away. What's this? Kinetic diadem. Fast intelligence, luring charisma, mighty fists, heart of Ira, physical might +1, +4, a strength and constitution, which means that a lot of these, all of these, how expensive are they? 4,000. You can see why I don't care about money. Like, the game does not make it a very big deal to spend money in resurrection scrolls or whatever. It's just whatever. It's fine. The game is look at the amount of money I'm getting out of this. The game really doesn't bother with that too much, which is fine by me, I suppose. But it is. I just wish the itemization was a little bit more interesting. Like in Baldur's Gate 1, about let's say 3 to 4 hours into the game, in like the 3rd area or 4th area maybe, if you kill a gnoll, there's like a big gnoll in there. I think it's a gnoll or a troll maybe, or an ogre. They're big. They're big. If you kill them, you get a belt that gives you immunity. I think it is that one. That gives you immunity to cold attacks. Now, of course, you have a team of 6 people, but still, one of your characters can be immune to cold attacks. So that's fantastic. That's just absolutely amazing. And if you don't use that, you're going to have a tough time. But you can do it without that. But it's just really good to use it. It is really satisfying to use it against, like, winter wolves, for example, because they have, like, a throw ice attack at you. And it's just... you know, it's just proper. This is proper itemization. And then just keep finding these things that are interesting and nice. But this game just gives you +4s and +3s. And I mean, yes, thank you. Give me all the +4s and +3s, but like, at the same time. We have some things. I still need to look at resurrections and whatnot. These probably don't matter. They're not too heavy, but it's light wounds. It's a pain in the ass to heal, so whatever. And then we have the moderate one. We have so many of them anyway, so it doesn't matter at all. And I think I will get a lot of money as well. Ooh, a lot of wyvern meat over here. Yeah, I'll get a lot of money as well if I talk to my storyteller, which I will. Let's seat. Price a seat. Let's price descending this. And you can see, like, the giant strength +6 is only a +6 strength. There's not 6 levels of giant strength belts. It's just a +3 belt. It's a normal +3 belt. No, actually, it isn't even a +3 belt. It's a +2 belt. Giant strength normal is +2 strength or +1 strength. No, wait. How? No, yeah, right. Giant strength 1 is +2 strength because that gives you +1 strength bonus because it's always halved, rounded down. And then giant strength +4. Is that how it works? It must be. Yeah. It's really, yeah, it's not, it's just, it sounds better than it is. It isn't. It's not very good. I need a like, give me a +15? Actually, 15 wouldn't be nice. +14 or 16? And I like it. So what we're doing as well, and we have a lot more money over there, is I'm buying another 1,000 build points. I wonder if they changed the price of the build points. I hope they didn't, and they don't seem to have. Right click, Control, Alt, Shift, hold, double click. That's the one. So if I want to buy 1,000, I selected this. I have to pay a little bit. Deal. See? It's quite something. I had to pay a little bit, but I have so much money anyway. We have another 1,200 build points on top of our 250 that we had already, so we're at 1,500 somewhere. And yeah, everything is fine. I could do the upgrades for the other ones, but really there's no reason. They don't pay back. I found a remarkable artifact. Can you tell me about it? Not all artifacts wish to reveal the truth about themselves, but I will do my best. Let me touch it. It's the river of the storyteller. The moment he touches the river, his hilt, the storyteller bares his teeth in a wicked grin. Gorum, he shouts at the top of his lungs. Watch me, my lord in iron. All this blood, all these severed heads, all these broken weapons and pieces of armor. I throw them all at your feet. I, Armag the Invincible, best among your fighters. You led me from one victory to another, and not once have I failed you. The glory of the Tiger Lords glowed over the lens like the light of a raging bonfire. I rose to the sky like the smoke of the cities we raised. None could match us in your presence, my lord. No one could defeat us. Not people, not monsters who are not people, not the gods themselves who also are not people. Our glory was so great that even Pharasma herself grew jealous, and how she wished to bend us, break our pride, show us that no one is beyond death. But you, O Gorum, you fought her in the skies, just as we destroyed her emissary on the land. Golarion hasn't seen such a battle since the gods fought Ravagug. And we shamed her, my lord, oh yes. As my soul was about to depart my body, you snatched it from Pharasma's pale fingers, sealing it in this sacred sword, so I might shed blood in your glory forever. My war will never end so long as this world stands. Blood, blood for Gorum. The elf jerks his hand away from the sword, and heavy silence fills the air. Not awkward, though. It's the nice, heavy one. That was quite a curious experience, he eventually manages to say. Thank you for your help. So I found the shards. Can you restore it in the anvil? May I? Scorched piece of metal. Necklace of the double. Found the shards of Trailblazer helmet. These shards. Knight's bracers. Curious about the shards of Ring of Reckless Courage. And the artifact would be the best one. That in the darkness. You found some. It's just telling me all the things. Oh! The Cloak of Souled Souls. Ah. So we really don't need to read all of that. This is sort of like in the expansion of Baldur's Gate 2, since we were talking about Baldur's Gate, where the little imp just continually tells you about all the items that you have. It's exactly the same design, and you can only really restore some of them because you might not have all the things. So what is that one? The Cloak of Souled Souls. It's not it. Cloak. Yeah, the storyteller shudders his grimace, or his face grimacing in disgust. This is one artifact that would have been best left in the darkness for its past. These scraps you have brought are from the Cloak of Souled Souls. Its story is dark and terrifying. All this item offers its owner is suffering. If you really want, I can restore it for you, but only as a warning to those who might dream of making deals with powers of Abaddon. Sure, please do. The storyteller places scraps of leather covered with unrecognizable inscriptions before him. The story you want to learn is truly terrible. Even more terrible could be the destiny of any person who dares wear this cloak. But as you wish, I will impart a remnant of my gift into this cloak, so it will be able to recount to you the crimes of its creators. The cloak will do that? I think the cloak will do that. Oh, it's the ancient scrapped scrubber squin. The item that we got. Sort by date. And now we have the Cloak of Souled Souls. A -4 penalty to the wearer's constitution score, which means I would get a -3. No, that's to the constitution score. I would die. I would get a -5. Maybe I wouldn't. I don't know. It adds +2 to the wearer's caster level when they cast a necromancy school or summoning subtype spell, for the purpose of calculating all level variable effects. Yeah, that's just normal. It also grants its wearer a +2 bonus to necromancy school spells' DC. It grants an ability to cast Vampiric Touch spell 3 times per day. The caster level equal to the character level. And equipping this cloak is only possible after casting Remove Curse spell on the wearer and passing a DC 25 caster level check. You make a caster level check? You mean, do you have to be level 25 or higher? Or do you have to roll a... You have to be at least level 5 so you can roll a 20 and succeed. Failing this check kills the wearer immediately. Holy crap. And summons a hostile Thanademon. If the wearer has reached the 20th level, it summons a hostile Astrodemon instead. Yeah, that's a bad thing. That, I don't need that. Thanks for that. Some relics, and these are the ones that I sell, and are basically the repeat. Ancient Cyclops coins, Taldan warriors. This is the creation, the Khalid tribal fetish. This is the creation of those who know how to speak with animals and can hear their stories. We, though proud of our so-called civilization, have become deaf to this language, and only objects such as these can bring its echoes to us. If you do not mind, I will gladly buy this from you. And then the Sky Metal Cogwheel, and something, and just goes back to saying the things that said all the time. And the Fallen Soldier. Wait, what? Oh, it's a different one. Right, that's what it means. So what is this Fallen Soldier thing? Well, he's gonna tell us. I feel the damp cold of a dungeon. Weapons clink... Oh. I remember that. Weapons clinking. I smell blood in soldiers' footcloth. There is a dull pain in my muscles and a weariness, an endless weariness on the verge of desperation. So I gained that many coins, I hope. I am a Cyclops, a soldier of the 19th Unbending Legion of the Golgan Empire. We travel the Darklands with a mission of clearing the middle levels of the southwest sector of Serpent Folk. Over the course of the mission, we've lost a third of our contingent. Our rations run low and our morale lower. I've heard several soldiers secretly tell each other they have lost any hope of returning home, but I stand strong. I'll endure whatever I must to return home alive, for the sake of my wife and child. But each new march, each new battle dims the thought that I'll ever see them again. I pray for the sun's protection and guidance. But can the great luminary even hear me down here? Golgan? I thought the Cyclops Empire was called Coloran. And I have never heard of well, actually, it would make sense that I would have never heard of the evolution of language. This is not really the evolution of language. It's more the reason why, for example, England is called Inglaterra in Portuguese, and it's just sort of a different way of saying the same thing. It's also a deturpation because it would be Ing. It's the land of the Ings, which were a people like 1,000 years ago or something. Anyway, the point is Coloran. Coloran, never heard of it. he says. Was founded in Coloran was founded by... Oh, no, that was the old one. I was talking to the orc. The storyteller's face twitches and his normal voice returns, which was... I'm just giving it the same voice all the time. Coloran was founded by Golgan refugees several centuries later. As for why there were refugees at all, well, we'll learn that soon. The storyteller's face relaxes again as he returns to the story. How long have you been on your mission? Cut off from the sun and the moon, we count time by daily marches. I've lost track completely. It feels like we've spent an eternity in this underground hell. Could it be that when I return, my son will be a graying old man with sons of his own, and then sons themselves? No, I must avoid these venomous thoughts. How dare I think I will have grandchildren? Do you worship the sun? Yes, of course. Do you know what raises Cyclops above the animals and the other two-legged savages? The Cyclops' face has one eye, a single orb, just like the sun in the sky during the day, or the moon at night, which means it's like there's two orbs in the sky, and also... Anyway, we build majestic temples to praise the luminaries, and in return, they reward us with prophetic visions. The lesser races may roam in the dark, but the Cyclops are capable of seeing the truth. Well, I guess it's no wonder that our mark was such a piece of work. Because these guys are basically supremacist views. Why do you wage war against the serpent folk? By the order of our empress. Zalekti never does. She never does anything. Why, with her own hands, she destroyed their den near Garkotar and beheaded their leader. So she did something after all. The Darklands will be ours soon. Maybe once we've purged it off the serpent folk, we can find a way to bring some sunlight down there. Go on. Our mission continues. We've lost half our contingent, but we still have no orders to turn back. The soldiers' desperation is becoming open indignation. If we were outside in this situation, I am convinced half the unit would have deserted by now. But here we are, and there's nowhere to run. I listen to the soldiers talking, and I don't like what I hear. This underground hell has changed them. They don't look to the luminaries for help anymore. Rumor has it that some of them have secretly begun praying to the serpent folk's gods. Worse than barbarism, this is pure insanity. But wasn't this mission itself insane in hindsight? What beings do the serpent folk worship? I don't know, and I don't wish to know. Who could possibly be worthy of worshipping in these fetid catacombs where sunlight can never reach? Devils or demons, if I had to guess. We've seen some of their unholy shrines, and they were enough to make even seasoned veterans sick. Flayed skins, bowls of blood, and entrails, altars made of bones, and this done to their own kin, to other serpent folk. I can't imagine what they'd do to their captives. Did you kill many serpent folk? I think so? I don't know the exact numbers. That filth doesn't practice honest combat. They move through secret passages to ambush us, attacking from behind or above or below. We've decimated many of their nests, but they still keep coming. The Legion rebelled. An officer caught some of the soldiers offering sacrifice to the serpent's folk gods, and he ordered them arrested and executed, but he had no idea how deep the contagion had spread. Many soldiers refused to follow his orders, and the groups stood facing each other, swords bared, loyalists against traitors. I should stand by my commanding officer, die beside him as a loyal soldier of the Empire, but I'm scared. Oh, son, I'm so scared. I don't want to die here underground. I want to see my wife and son again, and their sons. I couldn't say a single word. I couldn't even move while they butchered our commanding officer and the soldiers who remained loyal to him. But that couldn't save me from what happened next. They declared the slain as sacrifices to the serpent folk's gods, and each of us had to taste the flesh of the sacrificed or share in their fate. Salty blood runs down my lips. I choke down slimy meat and clap my hands to my mouth to keep myself from puking. Sun and moon can't help us here, and I raise my prayer to new gods. My legs won't hold me, so I kneel, and I feel them. I feel they're here with me. They stand around me, their cold palms on my forehead, and my fear subsides. I'll return home. Isn't that what I was praying for? Won't you end up executed for treason? Not if they'd ever learn of it. We all agreed on the story we'd tell our commanders when we returned. Our operation was successful. The Legion suffered heavy losses. The commanding officer was killed in action, so the next in command took his place and ordered us to head back. We did, that's all. Do you still sacrifice Cyclops? Just once or twice. Now we try to capture serpent folk alive and sacrifice them instead. I've even developed a taste for snake meat. The underground gods turned away from the scum, and their new followers are far superior. Such power and glory these new gods can bring to the Empire. We could even challenge Aslan itself. This was a sudden turn of events, by the way. The game didn't make it obvious that he had, in any way, shape, or form, changed his worship of the sun. Go on. On the upper levels, we rejoined the main force of our army. We reported the cleansing operation as a success. No one doubted our story or of the officer's glorious death. Shouldn't you not be saying that? Not that I'm surprised. It seems our legion wasn't the only one to accept the protection of the underground gods. Some soldiers even prayed to them openly, and our superiors turned a blind eye to it. Finally, we make it back to the surface. I breathe fresh air deep into my lungs. Like a crimson eye, the huge ball of light glares down on me from the sky. I shut my eye, for I am no longer used to sunlight. Tears run down my face. No matter. It's all right. I'll be home soon. I must thank the gods for my safe return. Maybe my son would make a good sacrifice. What happened to Golkan after that? After as so often happens, while the serpent folk may have lost the war with the Cyclops, they won victory over their souls. That doesn't happen very often. Soon, dark cults spread through the Golgan Empire, replacing the traditional worship of celestial deities. Sacrifice of Cyclops, public tortures, and ritual cannibalism became commonplace. Which is funny, because it's thought that real-life worships, or historical worships of the sun are the ones that you would probably think of as public tortures and things like that. Maybe not so much cannibalism, although cannibalism is it's a different thing. The Empire began to decay, which, sure, because of them going insane because of the mad cow disease. Is that the one you get when you eat human flesh, or is it uncooked human flesh? I'm not really sure. Anyway, how was Coloran founded? Seeing the Empire dying, some Cyclops fled to what is now known as Yobaria. They hoped to prevent the culture of old Golgan to build a new country free of the dark cults. But as before, the contagion was already too deep. Coloran proved to be, which just makes you think that there probably was something good to that. Now, people keep turning to those dark cults. It's not like they were like, oh, I hate these, but you know what? I'll do it. It's just like, what do you mean the contagion? It's like, I don't know what it is. It's like the dark cults are controlling the minds of people? Is that what the implication here is? Is that people just got mind controlled or something? Or became undead or something? Coloran proved to be just a lesser copy of Golgan, and then the Earthfall came. Skies have fallen down, ending the Cyclops' civilization along with so many others. Well, thank you for the story. The storyteller inclines his head respectfully. Well, let me look at the items you gave me, because I think you gave me new items. No, not really. I mean, if you did, it wasn't here. I got this, the Oil of Unholiness. Adds 2d6 damage against all creatures of good alignment to a weapon. Yes. Yes, indeed. Well, we have a lot of things to do, so we'll do them next episode. For right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Pathfinder Kingmaker. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment. Like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.